Okay, so we were talking about the heritage of Dozak, and I would like to learn about the classification, the 1855 classification. What do you see? What are the effects of the classification right now on the today's market?
Sure. So just for your viewers to understand a bit, how did that happen? There was the Universal Fair, that's the right term, in Paris, and Napoleon III wanted to showcase the best of culinary from France. And focusing on wine, he ordered some a rating, a sort of classification to the local broker called courtier, to give an idea of who was the best wine at the time in Bordeaux. So it was made by price, not necessarily by quality, although of course quality was reflected a bit by price. So the broker look at the trending of the price of all these estates from especially from the Medoc, and started to rate first growth, second growth, third growth, etc. So that's the origin of the classification. Uh, I think the longevity, because it was done in 1855, so it's been a long time. It allowed also for this estate to build prestige and to have this iconic brand now, like Chateau Margaux or Chateau Mouton, etc. Lafitte, Haut-Brion, but to have this again very prestige. If you wanted to drink the best, you drink a first growth, but then you have a second growth, or you have fifth growth, like Lynch who was super second. They call them because they were fifth, fourth, or other grade, but they could pretend to be considered as a second growth.
Yeah.
As a comparison, on the right bank, there's another classification. There's
Yeah.
also classified growth. But if you look at the recent history, also it sounds very democratic. Every 10 years, classified growth can apply, and a winery that is not classified growth can become classified growth. A one that was a top classified could be downgraded. So on the right bank in Saint-Emilion, it seems way more democratic and way more up to date. Fair enough. Uh, what I like about the old school way of the Medoc, meaning besides Chateau Mouton, never any change in this classification. It gives a sense uh, of
Stability.
serenity and confidence to the buyer that they know that, again, Chateau d'Ozac, you can see we write Grand Cru Classé 1855.
Yeah.
In 10 years, it will be classified growth 1855. In 100 years, it will be classified growth 1855. And I think that gives a strength to brands like Dozak to be able to build a better heritage and to build a better culture around the house. And that gives us a certain prestige that I think in Saint-Emilion, I mean, we saw some even top estates like also the Cheval Blanc moving
Yeah.
away from the classification because they thought they didn't need it, or they didn't agree with the whole classification. So to talk about the 1855 classification that again hasn't very changed, I think it's a great way to show to easily showcase the prestige of Bordeaux. It's easy. It's a classified growth from 1855. That's that. And so we're part of this group of great wineries, and that could capitalize on this classification, do the right investment, and to bring even better winemaking, better equipment, so that to make even
Yeah.
better wine. So I think it was a great virtuous way to help these wineries to get to make even better wine and have even better distribution.
Of course, I think the 1855 classification is, due to these reasons that you just explained, is a lot more iconic. I think it's we can't even compare it to the right bank classifications. based on the consumer side, the consumer perception side, because uh, I know for a fact that the 1855 classification, when people see this on the bottle, everybody knows this. This is an iconic thing. It doesn't even, I mean, not that it doesn't matter, but it's less important which of the classifications, if it's a fifth growth or fourth growth or third growth. But if it's inside the classification, it means a lot for the consumers. But on the other hand, the right bank classifications are not so iconic due to these changes and this a little bit instability, which is, as you just said, a lot more democratic, but it doesn't have this that prestige. How do you see that this in the last years? A lot of people are criticizing. I mean, probably even before that, people were criticizing this classification, but lots of people are saying that it shouldn't or it doesn't matter that much nowadays. How do you see this? How does it affect the consumers today? Is it the same effect or is it getting a little bit decreased?
I think it's a very interesting question. Um, I think it's we started our conversation talking about China and America, the more
Yeah.
communist way or the more capitalist way. I think, and I never thought about it this way, but maybe it's a good image that the 1855 classification is a bit of mix of both. There's a common group, and we see when I
Mm.
travel with the Union des Grands Crus, there's a lot of classified groups from 1855, very friendly to each other. Within within this classification, there's individuality with strong personality, and I think 1855 allows winery to get some immediate prestige. Yet, that doesn't. It's not all,
Mm.
and yet I'll give you an example. Rosan Gassier, for example.
Mm.
When I was young, maybe some people didn't see it as a great winery, or it was on the run, or it could have done better.
Mm.
Now it's amazing. It makes like world class wines. I think being 1855 help us maybe um, not like having trust with their own winery, but maybe get better investment, and because there
Mm.
would be appeal, if the quality was there, appeal to increase the price or to get better investment. Um, I think it's a great example of how winery can maybe be helped by this 1855 name on the label
Yeah.
to make better wine, which is that's the end goal. And those like again, those like for years it was managed by Maif. They did it was a big insurance corporation. They did a great job. At some point managed by the great like Lurton family. Again, great job. Uh, but again, being in 1855 with new ownership with Christian Rouleau, the new owner from Rennes in Brittany, new energy, new capitalization, so new goal in the winery with great team of Cecilia, Frédéric, who do a great job at making even better and better wine. Again, I think it helps winery like Dozac. Again, that was maybe a little at some point a little sleeping beauty to
Mm.
have appeal of people with money and with will to build even a bigger and stronger heritage. So I think it can be very positive.
Okay. So the 1855 classification is famous for this stability and unchangeability. A controversial question. There were a few exceptions. Do you think that in the future, maybe in 50 years or 100 years, is it possible for the 1855 classification to have changes?
So again, there was one exception with Mouton being rated from second to first.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think so. And again, I used to work for a winery who make wine like Chateau Aucon-Lissas, the top wine of Roland de Bie, uh, who was a could have been a contender. The quality of the wine is
Mm.
outstanding, was and still is, and sometimes compared to other classified growers, yeah, it could have a chance. But again, to me, it could be the Pandora box that we see in Saint-Emilion. Meaning,
Yeah.
if you let that, then who knows what will happen if we saw the two top winery from Saint-Emilion left, Ozone and Saint-Emilion. What if
Mm.
you let again some great winery that, like, by all means, there's some great winery from Medoc, Medoc, from Moody's, Distrac, or even Pauillac and so, who love their room in terms of quality, in terms of prestige. They will have a chance to become part of the 1855. What if Lafitte, Margot says, we don't really want that. We don't really need
Yeah.
that. Now we out. Well, maybe the 1855 could be the 2025 classification, and then you left some top estate, maybe a Lynch Bass leaf, maybe Dozac leaves, and suddenly you have good wineries that is up to date, that is making good wine. Uh, but I don't know, it could lose this whole sense.
Of
Again,
course.
it's not very democratic. It's more like a aristocracy, if you want.
Yeah.
Uh, so be it. So be it. I think it's part of history. It's a lot of people on this planet Earth. You know, if you talk to Napa, if you talk to in China now, or in lots of area in Bordeaux, they would love to have something as cool and that
Yeah.
lasted so long as the 1850 classification. Should it evolve? No. And but should this other winery that could be in the classification fight to make their brand as cool, as sexy, as prestigious as winery from the 1855? Absolutely.
Exactly.
Should winery like Dozac always try to be relevant and not to rest on their laurel thinking we're 1855, everything is okay? Absolutely. Because some of the wineries, yeah, they could make better wine. Of course, I'm not going to name any names, but some of the winery from 1855 could do better. Now, is 1855, like we do on the label, is it a guarantee that everything is going to be great forever? And you again, you can spend your time going hunting and fishing or sailing, and everything is going to be okay? No. So we need to again invest money in the facility. We need to make sure we hire the best person. We need to show we have the best communication, because it's not a given. It's not because you have 1855 that life is amazing and you can jack up the price. Everybody's going to buy your wine anyway. That's not the case. There's still a high competition, and we again. That's why it's 1855 helps, but that's not like the this magic one that you can do
Yeah.
anything you want. You can make bad wines, bad decisions, bad marketing, and still everything going to be okay. Absolutely not. You need to still fight for it to make again better wine, better communication, better distribution.
Totally agree. I'm with you on this one. I also believe in this classification, and I support it to keep it this way. I just wanted to challenge this idea for our viewers who might be critical, but you defended this. I mean, explained it perfectly, and it's a very good point that you made that for other wineries who are not in the classification or from other regions, they can still become legendary wineries. It happened lots of times all over the world, even in Bordeaux, Petrus. Without these big name classifications, they could make legendary, iconic wine. So it's totally possible, and this classification doesn't stop anyone. from doing it. I think it's just an excuse who are complaining about it. I sometimes feel that even from other regions, from other countries in wine regions, people from the wine community feel that this classification is like a worldwide classification, and they cannot be first growth in their own country, because there are in the wine industry these 1855 classified wines, and some people who have this misconception that this classification overrules the whole wine industry.
Well, yeah, it has a strong impact, but I think if I go back to my journey in Beaujolais Nouveau, where I think it was pulled by the bottom, not by the top, I think it's okay to criticize 1855 wines. I saw this reply. So this French woman, Darkia, I hope I'm not misspelling her name, said something about Bordeaux, and I saw a wine producer. I can't even remember the name of the winery, but said, yeah, 1855 wineries, they're so expensive, they give a bad rep to the world, and to the world of Bordeaux. And I know that was yesterday. And she replied, yeah, but also it's a great way to talk in a positive way about Bordeaux, about this top wine from 1855. So I think she had a great point, meaning that, yeah, 1855 can be criticized for high price, for you can criticize for anything. Jealousy is a very bad virus in this world. Jealousy and cynicism. But usually they never win. And you can also look that it's a great window for Bordeaux, for French wine, and that again, there's some amazing wine in Alsace, like Trimbach, is close to Thun, or in Loire Valley, or of course Champagne, of course Burgundy, of course, like in Châteauneuf or Gigondas. There's some great wine all around France, and Bordeaux, I think, it brings this little like little is part of this prestige. And I think 1855 they found an idea of great winemaking, just making great wine, and I think that's what it's all about. And I think that I stand like behind the 1855, and I think it's a great thing.
Perfect,
and again,
perfect.
Is it fair? Absolutely not. Like, I work for a winery who fought and say like this is not fair. So I get that. At the same time, life is not always fair, and I'm very happy to work for a winery that, because of great work of the Lynch family, led to be classified in 1855. Wonderful.
Of course, and I'm not even sure that we can say that it's not fair, because obviously it was a long time ago, but at that point there were some reasons that this classification was established, and the fact that it is still kept, I'm not sure that we can say that it's unfair, because it does not stop anyone. So it doesn't say that other wineries from Bordeaux cannot sell wine. Everybody can do whatever they want. This is just a thing that they decided. It's not a law. It doesn't stop anyone from anything. So I wouldn't even say that it's unfair.
Yeah, and I think it's okay. It's an advantage that we have as classified growth winery. If you don't have this advantage, find your own advantage. Be the best at communicating on social media. Be the best at having a great iconic label. Be the best at making the most pure, organic, biodynamic wine. Be the best at having, I don't know, the most cutting edge communication, or try to be unique. I get it that if you're not classified growth, you'll never be 1855. Okay, but don't stop there, and try to find your own way.
Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here, or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section, and see you in the next one.